10 straight, ties the school record. We've been playing football around here for a long time. That's a big deal. Really proud of our guys. And keep finding ways to win. Thought we played really well at times. Thought defensively, probably 3.5 quarters, we played really, really well. There was a couple of explosive plays that we gave up in the first half that led to 10 points. 2 post balls and quarters coverage, and we got to do a better job there. I think one big storyline was 3 turnovers that led to 21 points. I thought we were pretty opportunistic on defense. Thought we had some guys that really played well. Coleman Colley, this guy stood out to me getting his first start at Mike linebacker. Don't remember all the numbers, 9 tackles. He had a forced fumble that I thought was probably the play of the game. It was what we call an EAT play, an effort, attitude, toughness play. He chases a guy down the sideline that looks like maybe going for a touchdown. He runs down there, hustles his rear end off, and knocks the ball out. It was huge play in the game. I think it was an 8-point game at that point. Had a recovered fumble as well, and an interception. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he recovered the one he forced. All right. But yeah, I was really proud of him, man. He's a guy that's worked his tail off and got opportunity to start and made the most of it. Adam Clank, continues to make huge plays when he's in there. I keep saying this, we got to find a way to get him on the field more. But 2 sacks and a forced fumble, a big time play. And then offensively, Brandon Chapman really played his tail off tonight. I think he rushed for 143 yards or something like that. But he's just pound for pound, probably the toughest kid on our football team, and just a competitor. Really proud of him. Blake did his thing, played really well, and I hated not that we didn't get points there at the end of the half. We got to sequence our plays, and we got to get in the end zone there. And if you do that, it's 28-13 going in. You get the ball coming out. First 2 possessions offensively in the second half. Turned it over on downs. Didn't sequence our plays great on one of those, and we got to do a better job there. But really proud of our players. Again, it's a special group of young men. They just keep finding ways to win, and didn't love the way we finished. But hey, we got to clean some things up, with the hands team, and got to execute better on defense in those situations. But proud to get a win, proud of our players, and we say that the November's for the real ones, and the schedule's about to get real. So we got a lot of work in front of us. We have to continue to get better, have a chance to win any of these games coming up. But we'll celebrate this for 24 hours, and it's on to a really good North Texas team.
So, Coach, you spent the off week focusing on the defense, trying to improve. You said you wanted to look at personnel, and Colley was one change, Phil Hamilton another. But, I mean, they came up clutch. The turnovers, as you mentioned, when you turned it over, they forced a punt, so they responded in a sudden change. I think they did that again later. That's with the Colley when you didn't convert a 4th down, that's when Coleman forced that fumble. So it just seemed like they were clutch, and I know the final number is a little not indicative of how well the defense played, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is, and I probably shouldn't be upset about that. But we did a lot of good things, like you said, Wags. Got some good stops down in the red zone. We bent a little bit, but didn't break. Got some stops there, and after the turnovers, getting the stops was huge. So, like I said, 3.5 quarters, thought we played probably as well as we have all year on defense. Thought Coach Volker and defense staff put together a really good plan. I think Phil Hamilton at safety played really well today, and he's still learning the spot, but I was impressed with the way he played. So, overall, a really good day defensively outside those last 2 drives.
Brian, what kind of went into the decision to give Coleman the start for the first time? Because based on the way he played, the question, I guess, would be what took so long?
Yeah. Well, Joe Grant's a good player, too. And it just comes down to, the Rents do every day around here. And it comes down to production. And it's not just the way you practice, but it's the way you play on Saturdays. And when Coleman got an opportunity, he made the most of it, when he was coming in relief of Job. And so we just felt like that was the move. But yeah, really proud of him.
You talk about complementary football. How much did the turnovers kind of spark the offense and get them rolling?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we had 3 of them, but they led to 21 points. I mean, that's complementary football at its finest. And the turnover's been hard to come by for us this year, and something we work on a lot. So it was great to see that ball kind of bounce our way today.
So do you regret going for it on 4th down 3 straight times? I mean, if you kick 2 field goals, I think 2 of those have been relative chip shots.
Yeah.
But And then, you know, in terms of not being able to convert, or it was just not the right play in each of those situations?
Yeah, no, I don't. You know, I was second guessing myself on the last one where it would have put us up by 11. It was 4th and 2. You know, we actually use analytics. I don't always go with analytics. I usually use my gut, but I felt like we could get that right there, and we got to be able to go get 4th and 2. And the way we had moved the ball too, you know, prior to that, I felt like if we could go up 15 right there, that'd be big instead of 11. So yeah, you know, it's one of those things. It's right there. If it's 4th and 3, I probably kick the field goal. You know, 4th and 2, it's a go for us in most situations on that part of the field.
Hey, Coach.
Fair question though.
Sorry to interrupt. Hey, Coach, Jacob Steinberg with the Capitol. Both you and Coach Volker said during the week how the key was getting the preparation and practice to show up on game days and execute. Just how did you see that really come to fruition today?
That's for our entire football team. You know, I keep telling everybody this. Like, our kids work their tails off. They prepare the right way. They've trained the right way, going all the way back to January. It's one of the most consistent teams I've been around in regards to the preparation, the way they embrace the process, but it hasn't always translated into Saturdays, you know, for whatever reason. And so I thought that was better today. It's going to have to continue to get better in regards to that, but love the way they work, love the way they prepare. You just want to see that translate into performance on Saturdays.
And after giving up the opening drive, obviously not the way you want to start, but just what did you like about the way the guys responded the rest of the way defensively?
Just that, and they've done that all year. This group responds and never go in the tank. You know, these guys don't flinch. They play the next play. They move on, and maybe they move on better than I do sometimes, which is great. But it's something we talk about a lot around here. I'm really proud of the way that we're able to do that.
Coach, 397 yards rushing for you guys this afternoon, and Blake's decision-making, especially when to pitch, when to keep, just your reaction to that this afternoon.
Yeah, it's not just the decision-making once the ball is snapped either. You know, Blake got us in and out of some plays, you know, a bunch of times tonight. Got us in the right play, you know, based on they were stemming the front late and giving us some certain things. And it's a great thing about having a guy like Blake back there who's extremely smart, knows the offense inside and out. You don't have to call the perfect play. He can kind of get you into the right one. And so, yeah, but decision-making before the snap, decision-making after the snap, you know, outstanding. And he's been special in that regard, you know, all year.
So obviously the challenge of going against a team that has such high tempo and snapping the ball so quickly, I thought you all handled it well. Were there any particular strategies? Did you decide to just keep the calls simple, get them in quick, and just go with it, whatever, and let the guys, you know, I'm sure on the field they have to kind of adjust to what they're seeing, but I mean, you can't help them as much in terms of waiting late to make the call.
Yeah, no, it's something we talked about after the Temple game, just getting the call in faster. And I thought PJ did a great job. I thought the way he set up practice during the course of the week prepared our players as well as they could be prepared. And I didn't think there were any play in the game really where we were late, you know, getting lined up, getting the call. I thought PJ did a great job with the communication. I thought our players communicated really well too. There were a couple of issues here and there, but I didn't think the tempo for our guys was a problem, other than just, you know, you get gassed a little bit. And but I thought they handled it well. I thought the PJ and the defensive staff prepared them really, really well during the week.
So other than the two long pass plays where they got you in, really the coverage was actually pretty good on the second one. He was right there, just didn't break up the ball. But other than that, I thought your pass defense was pretty good. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, I would too. You know, outside of those last two drives, 100%. But you know, if you're playing quarters coverage, you got to be inside and on top of the post. And on the first one, they motioned in and created leverage for the receiver, and Justin Ross wasn't able to get on top of that one. And then Bryce was right there. You know, I can live with those. But yeah, you don't want to give those up in quarters coverage. But it's tough in the corners. You're getting a post, and you're getting a little bit of an outside shake, and then breaks it off inside. But you know, outside of that, I thought we played pretty well.
Can you talk about being this deep into the season? Memphis beats South Florida today, so now Memphis and USF have a loss. Tulane's the only other unbeaten team in the league. Can you talk about being, you know, with sole possession of first place this deep into the American Conference?
Yeah, I mean, we're where we want to be at this point, but we also know what's coming up in front of us. It's a really, really good league. It's a really talented league, and you see every week. You know, you saw that with Memphis last week, you know, getting beat by UAB, and they turn around and beat USF. I mean, that's any given Saturday in this league. But these games coming up, I mean, these are really, really good football teams, and we're going to have to be at our very best to have a chance to win.
Anything else for Coach?
This is a question for Coach Newberry. Did you have fun at your first Ravens game?
Yes.
Thanks, Tim. All right. Thanks, guys.
Brandon, is your big breakout game? I know a lot of times you do a lot of the blocking. Eli gets the ball a lot. Today was your day, and you produced. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing just to be able to have those opportunities, but, it wouldn't happen without my teammates. Like, if they don't, take the right step and block the right person, then the play doesn't go, so.
Blake, can you talk about Brandon's performance?
Well, first off, it was his birthday the other day, so happy birthday. That's why. It was just, it was the cake that his mom brought in last night in the hotel that just fueled everybody on the offensive side. So, old man, 23 years old, jeez. Uh-huh. He'll get a 5th year. He'll make it even 24 somehow. I've said it all season. It doesn't matter who has the ball in our offense, whether it's Braxton Woodson, Alex Teska, Eli Heidenreich, Nate Kent, Luke Hutchison, this dude, Cody Howard. Like, there's a lot of talent and a lot of guys who can get the ball. And, it's just game plan in a given week and sort of feeding the hot hand, whatever it is. And obviously today, that was Brandon Chapman. And, there's no, like, oh, wow. Like, we all knew that this was possible. It's just you got so many hands and mouths to feed that, different guys are going to eat on different weeks. And, just super happy for Chad.
Like when you get those turnovers from the defense late in the game, those sudden changes, how much does that kind of inspire you and spark the offense to get it done?
It's just awesome, to the whole crowd loving it. And it's a little bit of demoralizing, obviously, for the defense just to be like, out there again and, when they just had gotten off the field. So big plays by, I thought Coleman Colley, Adam Clank, 2 guys who hadn't gotten a lot of snaps in the past years, like played their butts off today. So, I thought the defense played great.
So you kind of let them hang around by not being able to convert on 4th down. Can you talk about 3 straight possessions when you aren't able to convert on 4th down, one of which is on the goal line, you're about to go in for points. The other 2 are in there. I think one of them could have, been field goals or whatever. But can you talk about that?
Yeah, just unlucky a little bit. Got to put a ball in a better spot for Chat to get into the end zone. They made a good play on one of them to the edge. I'm trying to remember. Eli coming up short to make a good play. Their corner made a good play to sort of knife past Alex. I can't remember. The pass. Again, just they made some good plays in those situations, and they're good. They play hard at times, especially, and so those times they did, and it's just unlucky for us a little bit, but it didn't faze us.
This is for all 3 of you. 397 yards rushing for you guys as a team. How good is this offensive line you guys are going behind?
Yeah, they're great. I mean, they inspire us every day at practice. They're the ones that bring the energy, bring the juice. So, everything that we do just feels off them. They're amazing.
Yeah, just to touch off that, just like warm-ups in practice, they're out there getting loud, making noise. And, the big thing with us is, 4th quarter in practice, and they're bringing all the energy. So, it's easy to just feed off of that and then, have energy yourself and spread that through the team. So.
I think they've got a great culture within their position group, right? And it's position-led, especially. Coach G does an amazing job of getting them prepared for the game mentally, but, leaders like Hoke Smith and Ben Purvis, get them ready to play as hard as they can every snap, going against defensive linemen that are usually bigger than they are. So not enough good things to say about their culture and what they do.
And you don't get banners for starting 7-0, but the first 7-0 start for this program since 1978. With all the history that's in this program on that stadium field, what does it mean to have such a good start for you guys as a group this year?
Brax?
It's amazing. I think it's really just a testament to, how much work we put in the off season. Going back to January, 4th quarters, summer workouts, all that kind of stuff that we do. We really put in a lot of work here. We take pride in, sometimes being smaller, and we just take that to heart.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing to be in this position. So, the next goal is just to go 1-0.
Yeah, it's a blessing, but at the same time, we always said going into this year, it's just a different team, new era, and I think if you would have told us that we didn't start 7-0, we would have been disappointed, right? Not even thinking about the history, but just looking at what we're capable of and the teams that we're playing. I think, that we're exactly where we want to be right now.
Braxton, how much do you appreciate Coach Cronick finding ways to get you on the field, to get ball in your hands, and let you contribute instead of just standing over there with the clipboard and a headset?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate, Coach Connick opening it up a little bit. But at the same time, it's a team game. We're just trying to win games. We're starting off 7-0. So if I'm doing any complaining, that's wrong by me. So I'm just blessed to be here. We're winning games. We're having a good time, scoring touchdowns. Getting player of the week back to back, that kind of stuff. So, I'm having a good time.
I think Coach Cronick said from the beginning of the year, you got to find a way to get your most athletic guys, best players on the field, and you saw it in the VMI game, and so I even get in Coach Cronick's ear. I'm like, hey, what if we put Braxton in on that play? So that was awesome. And then Braxton's got his signature celly, so we were all doing it,
Any other questions for the offense?
Thanks a lot, chance
Thanks,
to
guys.
start, and you made the most of it. Can you talk about the playmaking you did out there today?
Yes, sir. Just a surreal moment being out there. It's like one of the times you dream as a kid, making a big play or something in a big game, and yeah, it's just a surreal moment. It's just testimony of our work we do at linebacker position.
What was your reaction when you learned you were going to start for the first time?
Not a crazy reaction. I was just ready to get to work.
Well, Adam, you also made some plays, and the coaches have been talking about we got to find ways to get him on the field. And another strip sack 2 games in a row now. Also, a big interception there when they're trying to score late. Can you talk about your contributions?
Yeah, I just try to, they always talk about being 1-0 and just seeing a little, see a lot. And that's pretty much just how I try to conduct myself during the game is just, look and get the call, read my key, and then just go play ball and just the plays just happen to come to me today and just try to make the most of them.
Coleman, Coach was talking about your forced fumble and was just saying it's the effort plays that he talks about with you guys. Just what were you reading on that play and how were you able to execute that punch out so well?
Yeah, I was reading the tight end at the time, and I just saw the ball get thrown, sprinted out there, and made the white stripe. And something we do every Wednesday is white stripe drill. And kind of went black on the sideline. Everyone kind of mobbed me, and I kept the ball. So it was a crazy moment.
And just what was that like when your teammates are mobbing you after you make a big play like that?
Yeah, it was something you really can't explain. It's it's something I'll definitely remember the rest of my life.
Question for all three of you guys. They the first drive touchdown for FAU, and then I think you guys hold them to in the red zone, to field goals throughout the rest of the first half, get a turnover as well. How huge was it to come back after that first possession where things went so well for them?
Yeah, honestly, it's just want-to-know mentality. We pride ourselves in that, during practice, every time, from the previous games too, we're 1-0, we wipe the slate clean, there's gonna happen, explosive plays are gonna happen, but the thing is how we go about our business and our elite eat and our effort, that can't be a question. So, yeah, I would say that.
Well, for any of you, maybe start with Mark Anthony, but obviously in the wake of Air Force and Temple, Coach Newberry was very serious about we got to get this defense fixed. We got to improve in a lot of areas. He said that personnel was under scrutiny and there were some personnel changes, but obviously, can you talk about showing that improvement, coming out here today and doing a lot of things to help this team win? I'm sure that, with the coaches like Coach Volker and Coach Newberry talking about the defense got to get better, that's all something you guys own, right?
Yeah, I agree. It all starts, I feel like, with the defense, it all started with how we practice. Still, we practice hard, but it's the little details, practicing takeaways. I feel like this week of practice, we had, the most takeaways of, the whole season of practice. So that's why it relates to the field. And just running to the football, missed tackles will happen, but not wrong tackles. I feel like for most of the part, we kept our leverage, and we just kept pursuing the ball. So I feel like that's, the main thing that we kind of just fixed, and then also just going 1-0 and just doing our job. Like Adam Klink said, see a lot, see a little. Well, see a little, see a lot. So, yeah.
Any other?
Blake and the offense, we're talking about it, but just how much do you guys as a defensive unit, want to be that spark when, they get stopped on fourth down and that sudden change to get them the ball back? You guys did it a bunch of times tonight. Just how much do you guys as a unit pride yourselves on that?
I mean, we always talk about playing complementary football, and it feels really good to, not only get off the field when they're running tempo the whole game, but just like you said, provide a spark for the offense and get the whole team hyped up and stuff. So.
Any other question? Go ahead.
Again, Coleman, your two takeaways in the second half. How what does it mean to get the spot start, make two huge contributions that wind up leading to scores that help you guys pull away?
Yeah, it puts a little confidence in me. To play a little with more confidence, and just got to get back to work. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, thanks a lot, guys.